Hey guys, welcome to Treadmill Review Guru. Today we're going to take a look at the NordicTrack S15i indoor exercise bike. So as you can see, this is a very functional, affordable bike. It's comfortable to sit on and it has incline and decline built in. So right down here there's a motor that will actually lift and tilt the frame of the bike, and it functions automatically. So as you are watching an outdoor route, the bike will incline and decline to match the terrain, which makes it feel very realistic while riding. It also has 22 digital magnetic resistance levels, and that magnetic resistance is silent. So you can use the bike anytime of day or night. It's great for apartments and things like that where you're concerned about noise. And it's also affordable because the touchscreen is 15 inches, which is kind of the middle range in that NordicTrack lineup. It drops the price just a little bit, but you still get all of the extended functionality in the frame. So let's take a closer look at who this bike is best suited for. All right, so let's consider who this bike is best suited for. This is best suited for someone who would like a touchscreen, but you're fine with the 15 inches. One thing that we find, and I have specifically found, is when I get exercise equipment at home and test it out, oftentimes the screen size doesn't matter as much as I think it's going to. This 15-inch touchscreen, especially since you're on the bike and you're up close to it, feels very good. I mean, it's perfectly fine for riding and for what you're gonna do. It doesn't feel undersized at all. So if you're a person who wants the touchscreen but doesn't necessarily need the biggest one, the fanciest one, this is a really good option. It's also a good option for people who need something low impact. Cycling is low impact, so if you can climb up on that bike, there's no jarring, there's no impact, it's very smooth feel. You have a 32-pound flywheel that just rotates very fluidly, so it's very good for low impact exercise. It's also good for people who have a limited space. If you're concerned about space, the footprint is pretty compact. It doesn't take up much space. There's wheels on the front end, so you can roll it if you need to. And so it's good for apartments and things like that. And the same is true for noise. Because it doesn't make any noise, the magnetic resistance doesn't make any noise, there's no thudding that you would get like from a treadmill. It's also good for people who have noise concerns. If you're in an apartment or you're going to use it in a shared space, you have roommates, whatever. It's also good for people who are looking for a little more automation while they ride, because it has that built-in incline and decline. So with the iFit content, which comes free for the first year, you can watch indoor or outdoor routes. Outdoor is my preferred ones. And as you follow that route, the bike will actually incline and decline. So it's just kind of engaging and fun. It's probably not the best suited for somebody who maybe doesn't want to pay for a subscription service and isn't necessarily interested in following pre-designed workouts. Like if you just like to jump on your bike and do your own thing, this is a little more integrated than that. And it does require both electricity and an internet connection. So if you plan to put your bike in a basement or garage or somewhere where maybe you wouldn't have internet, this probably wouldn't work. So just kind of some ideas on who this is best suited for. So let's take a look at the overall construction. First, let's consider the footprint. So as I mentioned, this is a pretty compact exercise bike. Most bikes aren't huge, and this is pretty equivalent with others that we've seen on the market. So the bike itself is 22 inches wide, which is pretty standard. It's 56 inches long, and it's 61 inches high. So a little bit higher than other bikes just because it's got that touchscreen on there. But it doesn't take up much room really in your house. You could roll it behind a couch, tuck it in a corner, even the corner of a bedroom works fine. One thing I like about this bike is it's very structurally stable. So you have your stabilizers down here, and there's also a support beam that runs completely the length of the bike, which adds more stability. And then up here at the front, you can see you do have very large wheels, so you can lift the bike from the back stabilizer to engage these front wheels and roll it. The wheels don't connect with the floor unless you tilt the bike. So they're not going to compromise your stability while you're on the bike. So you can see you have uprights right here, kind of this front fork that goes over the flywheel, and you can see how the fork inclines and declines right there. So it will actually extend and then lower depending on your incline or decline level. This has a 32-pound flywheel. So the weight of the flywheel really affects how the bike feels while you're riding it. You want 30 pounds or more on most indoor bikes. And that does a few things. One, as the flywheel spins, the more weight that it has, the more inertia it builds up. And so it just creates a very fluid motion as it's spinning. 2 is it helps offset the rider weight when you stand up out of the saddle. So if you're climbing a hill, you're in third position, having a little bit heavier flywheel really makes a difference in the fluidity of that pedal rotation and in the overall balance of the bike. So we love that it's a 32-pound flywheel. Also, it has digital magnetic resistance. So you can't really see, but up under here there's magnets and they oppose the rotation of the flywheel. So the closer those magnets come down to the spinning flywheel, the more they slow it down. And then as they move back up, the flywheel has more of a free spin, but there's no friction. So it doesn't create any noise, doesn't require maintenance, and it doesn't wear out over time. So magnetic resistance is what we prefer to see on an indoor bike, and it has 22 digital resistance levels. You can control those up here on the right handlebar, or you can see you have incline over here, and then you have your resistance buttons over here, so you can quickly hit them. You can also touch the tap the touch screen. So there's multiple different ways that you can kind of manipulate that resistance, which is nice. You do have a brake right here. This is not a resistance knob, so it doesn't turn, but it will slow the flywheel pedals when you need to get off that bike. It also has 3 adjustment points. So as you can see, your seat slides forward and back. Got a little bit of movement there. And the seat itself will extend quite a bit up and drop down really pretty low. So let me just drop that. You drop it all the way down and you can raise it all the way up. And just because of the way I have the bike facing, so we could see the screen and stuff, you can't see, but over here on this side, there's numbers on this stem. So you can kind of set it where it works for you and then always find the same setting again. So seat forward and back as well as up and down. The handlebars also move up and down. Right here, you can adjust those. Remember to move the weights before you do that, because then you're not moving an extra 6 pounds up and down, but you can adjust the handlebars up and down. The only adjustment you can't make is you can't shift the handlebars forward or back, mostly because the touchscreen is attached here and there's a lot of weight on this front end. So it's very sturdy right here, but you can't shift it out away from the rider. So just something to be aware of. The one thing that I'm really impressed with on this bike is it has a 350 pound weight capacity, which is actually 50 pounds more than a lot of the non-inclining studio bikes that we've tested here. So it's probably because it has that heavier flywheel, it's got that support beam down underneath, but this is a really good bike for riders who may be taller, getting close to that 300 pound weight capacity. This one goes up to 350 pounds, so it gives you a lot of options. You do have a comfortable racing saddle right here. It's easy to swap out. So I actually had a different saddle on it that I was using earlier and I swapped it out. So we've got a quick video that'll show you how to do that. And it's really easy, so you can swap it out with any other bike saddle. You also have nice flat pedals here. So you've got the ridged edge, which holds your foot in tightly, and then you do have the cage on the top with the adjustable clip. These are not hybrid pedals, so there's no SPD clip on the other side, which is something to be aware of. So they will just work with an athletic shoe, but not a cycling shoe. But once again, the threading is pretty standard. So if you do want to swap these out, all you have to do is unthread that pedal and you can put other pedals on. The other thing that is nice is it does come with the 3 pound dumbbells. So you don't have to add those separately and they're just right there at the top, so you can grab them when needed. So Nordic Check covers this with a 10-year warranty on the frame, which is really pretty impressive. It also has a 2-year warranty on parts and 1 year on labor. All right, so let's evaluate the overall functionality of the console. So as I mentioned, you have your nice 15-inch touchscreen right here, and you have bezel buttons on either side of that screen. So you have incline and decline quick touch buttons here on the left, and you have digital resistance buttons here on the right. So you're going to tap those preset buttons really quick if you need to. You also have manual adjust buttons down here on the end of your handlebar grips. So 2 different ways that you can adjust the resistance and the incline, which makes it really nice. Also, you can see right here, here's my fan. So I can turn the fan on right down here, and it has 4 settings. So there's low, medium, high, and then the auto feature will kind of match how hard you're working. So if I pedal faster or have more incline, it'll kick up, and if I slow it down, it'll drop back down. So we'll drop that down. So that's how you adjust that. And then over here on the side, you have volume. So I can take the volume up, and then I can even do it on the touch screen.
Especially when you're in the desert.
I can also take the volume down, and I can adjust the balance between the music volume and the trainer volume.
Okay.
So you can hear that music's just kind of a background component.
RPE of 6.
And then one thing to be aware of, right down here it says connect to headphones. You can connect to headphones now. iFit has integrated that, so just click on that button and it'll bring up, as long as your headphones are in pairing mode, it should bring up your headphones. You just tap that and then you're set. So one thing to be aware of, the speakers for this console are in the back. So they do project away from you, which is something to be aware of. But with that headphone feature now, that makes it really easy. Most people use that. So I do like the different riding options that you've got as far as the handlebars go here. And also you can see that you do have those 3-pound weights right there. So this is an example of an outdoor ride that we're doing here in iFit. This is a gravel ride in Arizona. I prefer the outdoor rides, I really like them. And you can see down here, I've got my incline set to 6 and my resistance set to 2. If I tap this follow trainer down here, it's going to pull me back to where it's preset. He's kind of on a flat road, so it readjusts me just a little bit. My resistance adjusts, my incline adjusts to follow the natural terrain of the route, which is nice. So that's your automated feature in there. It'll kind of adjust as that program changes. And I'll just give you a quick overview of iFit and some of the different options that you have. So it will give me a summary screen here at the end about how long I was riding, my distance, estimated calorie burn, things like that. Over here you can see there's a leaderboard. So if I exit out and come back here, this is my automatic main menu that will load each time I pull up or each time I turn on the machine. So you can see you've got studio rides. These are studio rides. Here's a road ride. They've integrated these TED Talk features, so you can listen to a TED Talk while you ride, which is nice. Or you can specifically join a live workout. And then if you want to browse the library, it will bring up the full library of all the things I want to do. So here's an example of something they're promoting right now, Northern Utah outside road bike ride. And it has 10 workouts in it. This is a studio ride, it's a cycling series. And then down here, you can see you have different trainers. So if you have a trainer that personally kind of resonates with you, you like them, you can select workouts by trainer. You can also select it by beginner or road or mountain. And then here's your TED Talks, which is kind of nice. And then your studio. Cross training is where you're half on the bike, half off. And then strength is where you're completely off the bike. So that's when it's nice that this screen moves, because you can move it from side to side so you can see it off the bike. And then you've got active recovery and then international. So they have different languages, which is really nice. You can also create a route. If you have, let's say you're training for a specific event, you have an Ironman event that you're training for, it will just bring up some location in the world. And these are all Google Map based. So just put in where your location is, and then you can actually go in and set a course. So it will go, we'll just do this quick square right here. Okay, so I've set that course and I can save it as a new workout. And then I can name it, and then later I can come back and do it again. So you have that option as well if you want to create a specific ride. And then if you come in here, it just kind of gives you an idea of your calendar events. And then on air is where you go to find the live rides. So this will bring up the live rides that are coming up. And we can kind of look at by day. So those are live that you can participate in if you are around during those hours. So lots of different options here, and then you have the manual start. So this is just your track workout. If you want to set your own workout, do your own thing. And it just brings up that 1/4 mile track right there. So you've got your incline on the left and resistance on the right. And this is if you're reading a book, watch a movie in the background, whatever, you can kind of do your own pattern there. And then if I'm done, just exit back and it will take me to the main menu. All right, let's take a look at the functionality of the S15i. I just kind of want to demo a few different things. I have the screen turned. So as you can see, the screen does turn and it also pivots so that I can kind of angle it to avoid overhead glare. And then it will rotate from side to side. So if you're doing an iFit workout, like for weights or yoga or whatever on the floor, you can turn that screen, which is really nice. So right now I've got it turned so it's facing the camera. And as you can see, I have an outdoor, this looks like a gravel ride that I've loaded. And I just wanted to demo how the automated resistance works. So as you can see, well, and even if you can't see, right now the resistance is following the difficulty of the route itself. So the resistance is automatically at level 8. I haven't adjusted it. It's also at a -1 incline because he's kind of headed downhill a little bit. And so the incline has dropped to -1. As I continue to ride, it will automatically change as that route changes. And just prior to every change is a little beep. And the beep just lets you know, hey, the incline is going to adjust or the resistance is going to adjust. That way you just kind of know while riding. So it'll adjust in just a second and I'll just kind of let you see, but what it does is it makes it so that you can just ride as if you were outside and you don't have to do anything. I don't have to navigate the console. I don't have to do anything like that if I don't want to. The automation is right there and it's very easy. So you've got several different riding positions that you can use on an indoor cycle, and this is comfortable in each one of them. So right here I'm in first position down in the saddle. I've got my hands straight out in front on the horizontal bar. I also like that you have kind of this incline arrow bar right here, so you can kind of lean forward a little bit if you want to. You can also drop down to those forearms and just kind of rest if you want an even more aggressive position. And then you can also stand up. So second position, you're straight up and down, hips are directly over the saddle, shoulders are over the top of those hips, and you have enough support on that frame, and the flywheel is heavy enough that it supports you really nicely when you're up out of the saddle. Also third position, I come out here and I'm going to turn this screen right here just so you can see how close it is to me. So as I'm riding in third position and I'm up, I'm plenty close to that screen. So this 15-inch touchscreen is really more than sufficient when you're riding the bike. And you still have plenty of space when you're up here in third position. So lots of different comfortability and riding options on the S15i. So right now I'm on a flat road and my resistance level is set to 2. I'm going to increase that resistance just a little bit to demonstrate the fact that regardless of which resistance level you're on, there's no more noise. So let's go to level 10. There's a little beep when I hit the button, and then those magnets move down closer to the flywheel. I'm now at level 10 resistance. There's literally no noise. Let's take it up to level 20. So doubling that resistance, almost at the full 22. I got 2 more resistance levels to add. This is level 20. It's still very quiet. Take it all the way up to 22. Still very quiet. So I'm going to drop it back down. You can hear there's just a little bit of noise as those magnets move for just a second, but it's very minimal. So this is great for riding inside because it just doesn't make hardly any noise. As you can see, there's a lot of things that we really like about the NordicTrack S15i. This is a really comfortable, innovative bike with lots of cool features. There are a few things to be aware of. One, occasionally riders will complain about screen wobble. So because the touch screen is a little heavier, you can see that this screen is a little thicker because it has this fan at the bottom. It adds some weight to the front end of the bike. In addition to that, you have at least 6 pounds from the dumbbells. So if you're up riding and you shift your body weight from side to side, you will get a little bit of screen wobble, right? If you shift your body weight back just a little bit and angle those hips a little closer to the saddle and try to keep your body in alignment so you're not leaning side to side, you can eliminate that to a certain degree, but that is something to be aware of. There's a little bit of screen wobble depending on how you ride. Second thing is this screen, and you can see right here, it's timed out. It times out and goes to a screensaver mode, but it doesn't actually ever time out and go to a black screen. So whenever you're done, you're gonna have to turn it off. If this is in a bedroom or something where that little bit of light is gonna bother you, you're gonna have to turn off the whole bike to get the screen to turn off. So the power button is down here at the bottom of the bike, right where the cord goes in. It's just something to be aware of. One other thing to be aware of is on this console, the speakers are in the back. So if you point this headed into a room, your sound is gonna project away from you. So we recommend putting it in a corner or along a wall where that sound will bounce back. Also, iFit has just released an update where you can now sync wireless headphones, which kind of eliminates that altogether, because most people are going to ride with headphones, but just a few things to be aware of. Things that we really love about this bike: it's quiet. So people have asked about the motor noise. They're worried that it sounds like a treadmill. It does not. There's a slight bit of motor noise as that motor adjusts very short, just for that incline or decline. It's usually just seconds. And then there's no noise while riding. So this you can use in a shared space. You can use in an apartment. You can use if you have roommates. It's really quiet. Second is it's comfortable, right? Getting on and off the bike is relatively easy. Your step over height isn't hard. You've got 3 points of adjustment, and we really like that. The other thing, and my personal favorite, is the incline-decline feature. It just adds an element of interest. And because iFit has so many incredible outdoor workouts, you can ride all over the world. It takes you out of your dark basement or your quiet house, and it takes you out somewhere sunny and warm, and you can just ride. And because that touchscreen is right there, you really feel like you're on the road and engaged, and that's really fun. It's well designed, right? Like I said earlier, you don't always have to have the biggest, hugest screen. When you're riding right here, this 15 inches is really adequate, and I personally really like the quick touch buttons along the bezel. For current pricing on the NordicTrack S15i, make sure and click the link below. And to read our full written review with a detailed description, check us out at treadmillreviewguru.com. As always, if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. We'd love to know what you think. And if you liked our video, make sure to subscribe and give us a thumbs up.